So this is a gamble to say the least, but I will say for the sake of argument that during another solid WWE 24 special, this one on Kurt Angle, we hope that you're joining us after the fact. We completely understand if you're not going to join us live tonight because of the fact that everybody wants to watch this special, especially knowing that Dixie Carter's going to be a part of it. And I'm curious to see what she actually says. But for those of you that are here, we do want to welcome everyone to another edition of the WWE Monday Night Raw Popcast, exclusively here on the Popcast Network. My name is Owen. I'm a resident insomniac for the night. Or is that somnambulist? That'll work either way. I feel like a narcoleptic Argentinian right now. Might as well call me Ashley tonight. So...
Wait, does this mean you're Robin Williams and I'm Al Pacino and I've got to kill you?
That's what Raw does, sir. It does the killing for both of us. Yes, totally made a Moulin Rouge reference. Hopefully you guys got that. If not, we can no longer be friends. So, let's do this. So, obviously last night was the pay-per-view that doesn't need to ever be mentioned again by title, which we're just going to call the July pay-per-view for the Raw brand.
No, what was it? Eat balls and big ass.
Yeah, exactly. Which is basically the WWE's Tinder pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And kudos to Colin Cassidy for coming out at the right exact moment, creating a meme that would give credence to a character that was created on Grimm's Toy Show. Shout out.
Probably.
Philly Super Pop channel. Telling you, if Grimm's Toy Show gets any more advanced, we're gonna start covering one here. I like GTS better than WWE.
I'm guessing this is the partial documentary that's going to be part of that Essential collection, because this is real in depth. Yes, everybody, that's the advantage of me now having headphones. I can have it on in the background.
Yeah, I mean, I do use headphones for mine as well, as you guys probably know. But other than even with Scott being
Joseph Maroon concussion.
Oh no! So
he's on the wow.
Oh, are we getting a Foxcatcher reference on this?
Well, they've just talked about the broken freaking neck, and you can actually sort of see him basically go in the actual college thing over the US trials and basically going like hand up as if to say, "Come on, I can't do it. You know, I'm injured." And the match just went on, so he just did it.
So, welcome Timbo and Pedro in chat tonight. Thank you for joining us while Kurt Angle is on. We appreciate that in our live chat right now. If we were playing along at home tonight on Main Event, you're going to see when you catch it on somehow, some way. I think, are they still playing Main Event on the network? I know they weren't playing it on the network anytime recently. If you see Main Event somehow, it's Mickie James over Emma and TJP over Lindsay Dorado.
That sounds not too bad.
Not terrible at all.
One thing I will mention as well before I forget, if you're in the UK, Foxcatcher is available on demand on the BBC iPlayer for the next 4 weeks.
Get on that.
It premiered last night on television, and with the iPlayer stuff, it's like sometimes it's 7 days, sometimes it's 30, I guess, depending on the rights of the film. Thankfully, Foxcatcher is a 30, so you've got all month. And also, you don't even need a free trial because it's free. Well, technically now you need to have a TV license and an account with the BBC, but I'd say that's pretty bloody easy to do considering I've done it. Then again, I did it years ago, but
well, there you go, and that is going down. For those of
Yeah.
us here on
We're
here,
talking about that because tonight was a bit of a hodgepodge.
once again, for those of you that are in North America right now, I will state that the restock of the New Japan Pro Wrestling shirts with the Bullet Club branding are going to be coming to Hot Topic within the next 2 to 3 weeks, according to my conversation I had with them on Twitter. And we're getting everything that we had originally. Hangman Page's shirt is coming to Hot Topic, and also the Bullet Club zip-up hoodie. No answers right now if there's going to be any other New Japan branded merchandise, like a regular New Japan shirt or like LIJ merch or anything like that, because I know that does exist on Pro Wrestling Tees. I don't know exactly how deep that contract goes. So. And check out the newest episode of Being the Elite. It's going to be the last time you're going to be able to see that for the next 3 weeks, because Nick and Matt are taking a rightful rest and being able to spend plenty of time with their families. Yes, Pedro, I went to two different Hot Topics in the Orlando area. Didn't get Altamont. I was a little bit far, and they were completely sold out. And they told me that they were basically waiting for the warehouse to restock them. So Pro Wrestling Tees, get on that. I want my Bullet Club merchandise while I still have money. And get on that Amazon, get me in my Fashion Police shirt, because I still don't have it, and it doesn't make me happy that I don't have that shirt. I'm waiting for you guys.
Oh shit, Cornet.
above anyone on planet Earth right now, I should have a Fashion Police shirt. Mr. I wear Fandango shirt every year to
I'm still wondering though who done it. I'm guessing.
Are we getting it?
I can't remember. Are the colons part? Yeah, the colons are part of it. But I don't know. I'm trying to work out who it is.
Hot Topic, you know what you can do with your hat, because they have literally put up Cody and Kenny's shirts with no sizes available. So yay, good job, guys.
Just in general.
It's the demand for the Bullet Club merchandise right now.
Oh, Alexa just smiling away.
Yes. Yeah, Pedro, I'm probably going to eventually get the pins, but right now that wasn't a major priority. I think I'll wait till one of the bigger sales, like maybe a Black Friday sale potentially, to get the pins.
Sale.
Yeah. By Black Friday, there'll probably be even more pins. So.
They might be doing a Labor Day sale.
Yeah, that's a possibility. It's right before my birthday, so that'll work quite well.
I'm trying to think of other big American holidays that are coming up, if any.
That actually is the next one. I will say right now that there's going to be a conflict for me. September 30th is the same night as Halloween Horror Nights, obviously. And you guys know when Horror Nights comes on, Ashley basically takes the network for the reigns of 2 months. AJ, of course.
Shit.
AJ and Ashley will basically take the network for the reigns, except for my Sip and Snacks. It'll come out. And
young ass Karen Jarrett. Dear Lord.
Boy. It is a possibility that what they're going to do is that's probably going to happen, because September 30th is a very interesting situation for me, Ashley. I did mention that Halloween Horror Nights is on the 30th. If I will be there regardless that night, no matter in what capacity, I'll put it that way. But that's also something else. So I will be going to Horror Nights late that night, because at Hard Rock Live is going to be a Hollywood Babylon with Kevin Smith and Ralph Garman.
Ooh.
And I really want to go to that. So I may be going to that first, cutting out a bucket list item of meeting Kevin Smith. The reason why I call everybody sir, and it's not respect, it's a Kevin Smith thing. And on top of thanking Kevin, of course, for writing movies that pertain to my love life 3 times, technically 4, almost 5. So yes. And then get Horror Nights. So yeah. Speaking of Horror Nights, Pedro, don't worry. Very soon, we could have something sinister coming our ways. You never know exactly who or what might be insidious about this factor, and you never know. You might just have to get out in order to run out and find out what's going on. You never know.
Oh shit! I get it. We're getting 47 meters down, Scaroo.
The ash could be dead. You never know. It's possible. And then, of course, there is a slight possibility of many jigsaw puzzles around. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what is coming soon. So let's talk Raw, shall we?
I get it. Land Before Time Maze. Oh, fuck up them dinos.
Let's do that. So, yes, Pedro, I've seen the picture. Very reminiscent of what I said was going to happen, but it's reversed. So I think ours will probably be reversed, but we'll talk about that another time. Now, let's discuss what happened on Raw this week, because we have to, because it happened. So the wheels are spinning right now for something big to lead us into SummerSlam.
Jojo says, this is the man who was 7 foot tall and you can't teach that. So here comes Big Ass.
Big Robot.
And of course he goes, hey, how are you doing? Because you know what? I'm feeling great after destroying Enzo, and they show the stills of him destroying him last night, and then a WWE.com video exclusive, except it's on the television, so it's no longer exclusive.
Yep.
Of Enzo being carried to the trainer's room by the referees. One thing I will say, Enzo nowhere to be seen on tonight's show, other than in the archival footage. And of course, then the casshole chants start.
That's a great chant
back from last week,
right?
But this is him serving notice on the entire locker room, even the guy right at the very top of the totem pole. You know, don't try hopping on the Cass bandwagon because I'm the future of the company. And to all those doubters, one day I'll be Universal Champ and shove that belt down all your throats. I'll be the new face of the company because nobody can touch me and nobody is bigger than me. Well, that's a mistake of a comment to make.
Yeah,
this Big Show.
Yeah, even Anne Frank can see that this was going to happen. They were telegraphing this from day one, not in minute one.
Went with Anne Frank rather than Stevie Wonder.
It's a Clerks reference. We just talked about Kevin Smith.
I don't even care.
It's Clerks too. Continue.
I don't even care. You bring up Anne Frank, I get flashbacks to Fault in Our Stars. Don't never do that.
Oh dear God, no, not even close.
So Big Show comes down and they do a brief stare down and then they beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
I'd say show coming out more on top, but Cass basically rolls out the ring, powders and flees up the ramp.
Can I mention this felt more like an MMA fight than a brawl?
I see what you mean with that, certainly. It wasn't like a mass thing. It was just sort of like, I'm going to beat you down, I'm going to kick you, I'm going to...
Yeah, and the great thing, it's funny because Big Show, like, they took him down, they kind of brawled a little bit, but I mean, it was basically just like a standard, like, pseudo MMA fight with Big Show on top with a gator roll of all things. And then Cass powders to the outside.
And somewhere bloody Lorenzo Ball was probably going beat that cracker ass.
Oh God, no! That beat that Bala ass was later on in the show, but that's another story.
Well, no, cracker ass because he's white.
Yeah,
I can't say the other one. Apparently, though, if you're an MP over here in the UK, she just randomly dropped it, and it's like, oh. Well, good to know.
Good God.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Elias Sampson. And Sampson's just like, Yeah, hello, Houston. Hello, I said hello, Houston. I got a question. Do you want to dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? Sorry, I mean, do you want to walk with Elias?
My answer is yes. Where's my merchandise?
And he starts singing a song dedicated to Balor, and then Balor's music interrupts. And so, rematch. Monday Night Rematch begins with a rematch.
Shock surprise.
Even if it wasn't a rematch, it felt like a rematch.
Yes.
Even the thing is, though, it was good for what it was. Just
I liked it.
Brief, like, I don't know, 7 or 8 minutes, possibly.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, the timing wise, it kind of flowed really well. I actually don't mind these two working together. So basically, they worked back and forth. Elias worked the arm because he had the Fujiwara on early in the match, and he worked the arm of Balor to try to get him get him to submit. Of course, it didn't really go anywhere, but he was trying to wear him down. And then Balor out of nowhere hit the Pele, sling blade, shotgun drop kick, coup de grace, 1, 2, 3. I mean, this is fine. I don't know if this is a blow off or not. It might be. Or is this going to SummerSlam? We have so many weeks left to go before SummerSlam. I don't think it's going to go that far. But stranger things have happened. It just kind of depends on how they need to flesh out the card.
So then the Hardys randomly come out and congratulate Finn, and they walk out because they're doing stuff.
Matt is delving deeper and deeper into brokenness right now.
Not just him.
Well, Jeff too, yeah.
Started off with Jeff because, they're talking about, last night they went through the 30-minute Iron Man match and, they lost and many people think they're done now. It's like, it's as if they might as well fade away and classify themselves as obsolete. Cue everybody going, delete, delete, delete. And it's time for Matt to deliver a proclamation that they're not done, the company. And then Anderson and Gallows come out and say, no, the division doesn't think that you'll finish in this company. Just us. And Cole just does. It's like, let's just accept it. You've come back and you're not the Hardys of old. You're just old Hardys. And Matt goes, well, we went through a bit of a beating last night. Yeah, we might be hurt. We might even be broken, if you will.
It's coming.
They're willing to get in the ring to, prove who the greater team is. So we get down with that. Get down and get with it.
But it wasn't over.
Nope.
Because it led to the match. So
which was good again.
Yeah, absolutely. It was the Good Brothers versus the Hardys. And this was honestly, I would call this the Bullet Club segment of the night for a lot of reasons. Because it flowed directly from the beginning, the match with Balor, to the tag match here, and what happened after the end. Basically, this is about the Young Bucks.
Shit.
When all in all, for all intents and purposes, this whole segment cluster.
They actually just showed Benoit. Holy shit!
Boy, that's interesting. So
all the shit's going down on this thing. Holy shit!
Yeah, great stuff here. So it's Hardy's get the shine on, and Matt with a running clothesline hits the bulldog, but he doesn't actually get it. Anderson escapes out, but he's the side effect. Gallows gets knocked off the ring apron, middle rope leg drop, set up, but he drops the elbow instead because that's what Matt's been doing lately. Twist of Fate is countered. Matt grabs the ropes. Anderson gets a high elbow right to the face, and then Matt hits the ropes. Gallows with a high kick to the back of the neck leads to the rocket kick from Carl Anderson. Gallows tags in, they hit the magic killer, and that match was over. But again, it's not over. Because like I said before, there's a reason why this is the Bullet Club segment, and there's a reason why this is the Young Bucks segment of the night. Because
fuck the Revival!
Exactly. Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder make their return to Raw and brush past Gallows and Anderson, jump the Hardys, and they nail Matt with a vicious knee strike to the forehead, take him down a peg or two, and then Jeff eats the Shatter Machine, and the Revival leave the Hardys broken? Question mark. I completely do as well. And I've been saying before, and I said this is the reason why I wanted to put the Revival on SmackDown. Now I understand why they're on Raw, but still, you can't have Gallows and Anderson and the Revival in the same brand unless you do something like this where they just like, yep, you don't matter, and we're going to kill the Hardys now. No worries. So this was fun. I enjoyed this greatly. I think that the Revival are definitely going to be the next contenders to the tag belts after they break the Hardys permanently. So the Revival gets Sheamus and Cesaro. Can you imagine how much stiffness is going to be in that match?
I think the phrase you're looking for is "it's going to be fun."
Dude, I'll tell you right now, Ashley, it might as well be Ireland because they're going to be throwing potatoes left and right.
No, that will be that will be this week with McGregor and Mayweather.
That's great.
So now it's time for the Mizzies. What? So yeah, it's time for the awards, which are specifically apparently for Eat Balls and Big Ass.
Yep.
The best supporting actor is a tie with Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. Sexiest woman ever, of course, is Maurice. And the greatest man in WWE is, of course, Miz. And Miz says he delivered on his promise that he'd retain his title. You know, everybody else, Tozawa, you know, Sasha Banks, the Hardys, even Seth frickin' Rollins didn't deliver on his promise.
You knew right there they were setting that up.
And then Miz basically acknowledges, you know, hell, Dean might be the toughest man in WWE. So if I beat him last night, what does that make me?
The winner of the 2017 Brawl for All?
Where the fuck's Butterbean?
I caught you off guard on that one.
I never thought of Brawl for All. And then I realized it's 19 years ago.
Yeah. Ask Joey Janela. I'm sure he'd book Butterbean for a spring break show.
To be honest, at the rate we're going, it might be bloody Tan 7 versus Ken Shamrock at the next spring break.
I would not be shocked if that happens in New Orleans next year.
Unless Shamrock's going in the Hall of Fame.
That's also possible. You never know.
So yeah, Dean comes out, beats him down. Of course, then Miz and the Miz Taraj are obviously 3-1 up. So here comes Seth to make the save. And that's it, really.
Yeah, they started this in MSG with teasing the return of the Shield. So we're going to see the Shield against the Miz Taraj. I would not be shocked one bit if they do it. Now, my dream scenario would be next week, the Samoan named Joe loses to Samoa Joe. Joe faces Lesnar at SummerSlam, and then we do the Shield against the Miz Taraj at SummerSlam. That could never happen.
No.
But that makes sense.
All of a sudden, Zombie Braun goes, "I'm not finished with you yet, Roman."
I like Matthew's version of it. All of a sudden, they played the Shrek theme in the beginning of the Shrek movie, and all of a sudden, Braun comes out of the ambulance and goes, "Roar!"
Yeah.
Perhaps I'll see him this year.
So then we go to backstage, and Dean isn't happy with Seth helping him out. He'll fight his battles, you fight yours. Yeah. Don't come saving my ass anymore, because I'm not going to save yours. Remember that, everybody. So now it's time for Sasha and Bayley versus Nia and Alexa. Rematchamania!
Yeah.
For what it was, it actually wasn't too bad a match, really. There was a nice spot before they went to the commercial when Bayley hit the elbow drop right to Nia's neck as she was kneeled down. The finish itself, Sasha tried to... Well, Sasha got thrown to the outside by Nia, and Nia was trying to do the whole, pitching up, doing the... I swear she was doing the diamond cutter with her hands. I think she was trying to, frame it to get the right shot or whatever. And she ran him for the knee strike.
Oh, the Kevin Nash.
She instead probably concussed herself on the barrier.
Braun style.
And Bayley rolls up Alexa Bliss for the win. Holy fuck. Bayley won a match. Izzy is crying with joy.
Did you see the picture that exists of Izzy now wearing Alexa Bliss gear?
Oh, shit.
I saw that on Twitter the other day. I was like,
yes! Izzy is the true face of WWE. Yeah! Fuck. We need that picture, and then we need Sad Bailey's picture next to it. That's what we need.
I want Will Smith.
No.
I want Will Smith on the side of it. It says old and busted, new hotness.
Probably.
So this leads to another wonderful promo involving Goldust and R-Truth.
Quoting Reservoir. Well, no, it was just Goldust, really, because it was him quoting Reservoir Dogs. So there's passion, but no punch in R-Truth. He tried to ruin the premiere last week, but the Shattered Truth, it was a box office hit, the biggest hit of the summer. And it's now time for the encore performance. Now, normally the sequel isn't as good as the original, but as we all know, Goldust ain't normal. The Shattered Truth Part 2 is coming because the Golden Age is here. Then ambulance match. They replay it. It was actually on at the start of the show. Normally they do it at the third hour because the idea is that you're putting it there because then nobody will give a shit about the third hour. So why play it twice within the same 2-hour gap? I don't get that.
People like me that fall asleep and didn't see it the first time.
Then they had the artsy-fartsy trailer officially revealing Kurt Angle as the pre-order bonus for 2K18. We knew that already anyway, but the trailer was in, and it was basically just Kurt in his hoodie jacket and all that, scouring the wreckage of where all the shit that happened in terms of the place being torched, that Seth did and whatever. So, and then we get Truth versus Goldust, which wasn't too bad either. I'm surprised.
Should have been on the pay-per-view. Well,
I know it was that good. That it would have been a better fit. Well, then again, I wouldn't have wanted it to be filler between the ambulance match because you needed something that people wouldn't pay attention to because you're going to be paying more attention to the other shit. Oh shit! Oh, they've actually put the name TNA Wrestling on the bloody documentary. Wow! They're acknowledging it. Oh, I guess because TNA Wrestling don't exist, they can get away with it. Oh, you clever bastards!
Exactly.
Oh, and they're basically bringing out everybody that's been in TNA. So there's Mickey, there's Joe, there's AJ. Anybody that was in that company when he was there, yeah, bring him in.
That's fair.
So Goldust won after throwing Truth into the ring post and hitting him with a final cut, which apparently doesn't have a name now. Because fuck you, Michael Cole. Probably.
He just probably. I'm not going to say anything. He already blocked me on Twitter, so there's no reason to even mention him at this point.
Oh, and if you're wondering, he's just said regardless of what's going on in my personal life. It's the only mention you're getting about the Jarretts. The boycott continues from Mushy Vince. Lol. Speaking of all this, of course, here comes Kurt. Says last night's show was a great success, but things, as they sometimes do get a little out of hand, especially the ambulance match. Apparently, there is no word on Braun. They don't know what his condition is, but he'll be back when he's ready. But the show must go on. Here comes Lesnar. And Kurt says, 14 years ago, you beat me at Mania. You know what? You keep getting better with age, son, and congratulates him. And then Heyman's like, Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar. And it's like, so now we've got the pleasantries out the way. Any reason why we're out here? And Angle's like, look, I've got ideas about what we're going to do with you with regards to SummerSlam. And Heyman's like, whoa. I think it's nice that you're having this creative meeting in public and brainstorming ideas, but that isn't an issue for us. So if you don't mind, we'll take our leave. Thank you. Burner, 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 burner.
Here comes the murderer.
Yeah. Attempted. He's still alive, remember?
As far as we know.
He said, leave me alone.
I love the petition to try to get Roman Reigns arrested for attempted murder that's moving around on Twitter that came out this morning.
Kurt's like, I'm amazed you've shown up after what you did. And wait, hang on. You're Kurt Angle. You're Brock Lesnar. And you're Paul Heyman, the king of hardcore. You're asking me about what I did. That was a step too far. And basically, Kurt says, "Look, that was another time," which is true. That was the Attitude Era when you could do that sort of shit. And Roman's just like, look, I did you a favor by taking him out because he was becoming a liability to this locker room. Look at what he did to Callisto and Apollo Crews and everything. And I'm out here for one thing, and that's this Universal title. I want a match at SummerSlam. And Heyman's like, yeah, I like the sound of this. And Brock just, I don't know if this is ad-libs, but it's just like, whoa, no. A bitch like you, I think he said bitch because it got censored out. A bitch like you doesn't deserve a shot at my belt. Here comes Joe. All about the horns, apparently. All about the bassy bass. He says, oh, look, it's Everybody's living in this fantasy world, but I want to bring it back to reality. And Brock goes, well, the reality is that I beat your ass last night. Yay! Ad-libbing.
With someone that knows how to do it, too.
And Joe and Roman, because it sort of continued on. And like, look, let's be honest, Brock. You escaped me last night. You didn't win. You escaped. You got lucky. And Roman, you never beaten me. And, you know, Roman's like, well, you know, you lost last night. What shape are you in? And Joe was like, well, so did you. He says, yeah, but do you see Braun? Do you see him here? I don't think so. And Brock was just like, yeah. You know, Brock's coming in and going, you know, do your stuff. And then Joe's like, look, just get out the ring. You don't deserve to be in here. Let the important people talk. And it's like, holy shit, this is, I can't tell whether this is scripted or not. And Heyman's even going like, you know, the fact that Roman took down The Undertaker, you know, that deserves a title shot alone for doing that, considering, you know, the other guy that beat him is my client and everything. So the four are just great. Just like the couple of minutes, it was just like boom, 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 boom. Like, geez. So Kurt then just like, look, next week, Joe versus Reigns. Whoever wins faces Brock at SummerSlam. But if you start fighting at all, I'm ditching this title opportunity. You're not getting a shot. And after all the teases, Joe backs off and heads up the ramp, and Roman sort of like they're looking at each other as if to go, see you next week, son. I really hope they now have to fight each other on the house shows, because what the shit do they do then? Continuity out the fucking window.
House shows are like that, though. So, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time.
So then Kurt's flustered backstage because Corey comes in and says, did you get the text that I did? Look, yeah, this is getting such a situation that I'm just going to have to go public on this. You know, hell, it might even be the same time that I have to say goodbye. So it's like, okay, there's interesting stuff going on here.
If they're setting up what you're prophesizing and what a lot of people are doing and a lot of people have been saying, and even I've said before, then they're setting up the match for SummerSlam. They've got weeks to build it. They can totally start next week. Officially build it.
We'll go into my thoughts on it.
We're all on the same page.
Which would be weird to do, because this could, if the shareholders are stupid and think this stuff's real, it might scare some of the stock market.
Yeah.
Oh shit! A strike! He's got a tan. Speaking of crazy things like that, time for some cruiserweight actioni. Because it's Cesaro and Cedric versus Dar and Neville. By the way, they did mention here, Alexander and Dar are going to an I Quit match tomorrow night on 205 Live.
Interesting.
Spoilers, I'm calling it now. Cedric's winning because Noam Dar's going to use the excuse to go over to ICW and be part of their Shug's house party at the end of July.
That's also a tag match too, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's Shaw Samuels.
Yeah, I believe so.
I think. Teaming up with him to take on Grado and Joe Coffey. From what I remember.
GFW versus WWE in ICW.
Well, no, GF. I'm trying to think. GFW and WCPW.
Yep.
If that. I mean, technically ITV. Technically, yeah, it's World of Sport versus. Oh no, because Shay was in World of Sport as well. That's complicated.
Indeed.
Either way, the match that they have is a decent little tag match.
Not surprising.
Yeah. Oh wow. John Cena actually showed up to the rehearsals in his tuxedo. Kurt, yeah, I'll just be in generic clothes. I love that. Cena's just there. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be dressed. So yeah, I mean, the ending was pretty good because it sort of echoed last night. Tozawa hitting the senton, but this time Neville couldn't roll out of the ring and pinned him. So he's got the pin on him again, so probably warranting
a rematch.
A rematch somewhere down the line, I would say.
I mean, are they going to pull the trigger on Tozawa at SummerSlam to really put an exclamation point on the time
Considering it's Brooklyn and you've got a very hot wrestling crowd, and obviously, I mean, I can't remember how many shows Tozawa did for Dragon Gate USA, if enough. I can't even remember.
Right.
But we'll see. So then Great Caruso is asking Seth about, why you help Dean when you're, excuse the pun, I should be focused on Bray Wyatt tonight. So that's a thing, I guess. So Seth is just like, I was out there because Miz talked smack about me, and as for tonight and Bray, I'll prove I'm the true man. And then Bray then interrupts in and says, I've claimed what I wanted last night, but you continue to defy me. I will not forgive you, son, and you will burn for all your sins. I'm here. So Wyatt versus Rollins happened, and this was a really good. This was better than last night. That's the best bit. Tonight's match was better than last night. They did it the wrong way around.
But that's something they tend to do.
Apparently.
They're wrong in the reason. It's just what happens.
Bray uses the advantage of the hurt eye towards the end, though. Of course, Seth did the deal.
Of course, he did.
And of course, did the dive. He did the dive as well. That's the new catchphrase. He did the deal and the dive. So he basically takes advantage of the poke in the eye finish from yesterday and sort of headbutts him in the area. They're already making out like it's puffed up, and so he can't see out the eye, sort of thing. And he's going about obviously on one eye, not being able to know what he can see and everything. And Sister Abigail and Bray wins, and Bray's like, yes, and Bray has disappeared, nowhere to be seen, except now coming through the crowd and through to the ring announcer corridor comes Miz and the Miztourage and beat down on Seth. And here comes Dean with a steel chair, smacks him on the back, and makes the save. So much for no Shield reunion, and I'm not going to help you. You fight your own battles. And Raw doesn't go off the air. So
I'm literally
tell what I'm
expecting
doing.
something right now. Yes, and you better be delivering
Yes.
what I'm thinking you're going to
Yeah,
do.
I just realized I needed to do it. So, Kurt's on the phone. And he's like, look, I'm going to be coming out of public with this. And, yeah, it's a thing that's affecting us. You know. And it's only fair that we both come out and announce it together to make sure everything's clear. Like, I love you. What the fuck, Kurt? WWE's doing what Lucha Underground doesn't. Actual to be continued next week.
Yeah, this is the build up for SummerSlam. We've already started it all across the board.
If we're doing the match that people want to see, you know, the weirdest rematch in the history of quite a while.
Yes.
The angle that I'm thinking it is, and this is to say, this is hopefully the shareholders don't go, "Whoa, shit," and think it's real. I think the angle might be Stephanie. They're playing on that angle that happened, 17 years ago.
Yeah. And the build-up has been made for Triple H versus Kurt Angle, and this is how they can pull the trigger on it. Because they have enough time to build up a proper match for SummerSlam.
Because I don't think he'd do a gay angle.
No, I don't think
he's a
so
very
either.
family man.
Right.
So, I mean, Stephanie's the only one that makes sense because Paige would be awkward, especially with what's going on apparently now. If it's Summer Rae, I think Owen would mark the fuck out.
I would, but I don't think that's I think that's too high profile given what they've done to that character.
But I don't think there's anybody else on the roster that's female, really.
There's Linda, but I hope they don't do that. Then we get Kurt
I mean,
versus
they can't really do anything with Renee.
Nope.
And Miz. Maurice?
We just started the Miz Rollins program.
Yeah, but remember, Maurice has been pissed with Miz for the past couple of months, ever since Kurt. Well, not really, I guess, since the first thing.
Timbo says Dixie. I don't think they do that on WWE.
No, if they brought her, that'd make Jeff Jarrett laugh his ass off, and we don't want that. Please. We don't want him to be justified. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens next week.
Yeah, it could. So I think that's our show.
Mm-hmm. I think we timed that on purpose because Literally, the Kurt documentary just finished.
Oh man. And 5:15 will be here before I know it.
But that was pretty damn good.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. We'll see the direction they go from here. So, on the network this week, Gaming with Ash will be returning at some point.
Yeah, I'll probably get it recorded in the next day or two. I keep saying that, but it's just other stuff happened over the last couple of weeks. Well, the last few days that I haven't been able to do it, but
Right.
I'll do that. Yeah, I'm trying to gear up and prepare myself for the fact that I'm going to be doing 2 of these a week now, or 2 of something a week.
Yeah, Ashley, like I mentioned recently, Ashley is basically taking Saturday and it's taking no, that's right, Sunday and Monday on the network moving forward. I don't know what exactly the content's going to be yet, but
Oh shit!
we've got, regardless when you send them to me, they'll go up on Sunday and Monday. Even with pay-per-view weeks, it's going to be different, obviously, because we'll have content for there. But
Oh shit! I'm hearing for the first time the TMZ recording.
yeah. Okay, hold on. All right, hold on. Let's get into this. I know it's the end of the show, but let's get into this.
Oh shit!
Yes, Pedro, I almost guarantee we're getting an announcement tomorrow and for the next 3 weeks. And then we have our info drop with the originals and our second show on August 3rd to tie into the Soul Collectors. So over the weekend, it was publicized on Instagram that Soraya and Alberto were in Universal. Took a picture of them at Islands of Adventure, Port of Entry. So it was Paige, Alberto, and family. So El del Dos Caras, and I don't recall if Dos Caras Senior was there or not. I'm not positive, but possibly. It was just a big group, and they were just going out to have a good time. This was Saturday before what apparently I'll get into Sunday and I'll explain why I think that everybody's blowing it out of proportion, but I'll get to that in a minute. So, unless I read the wrong thing into it, which is possible, but I'm not blinded by anything. I went to, obviously, as you guys know, my roommate, Great Traveling Scott, who will be returning to this network eventually because he finally got his laptop working, so he should be able to do podcasts again. He basically, since he was in town, we went to Universal for the day. It was Saturday was one of my days off because I have 2 a week. And basically, I went to Universal and I ran into Alberto and Paige at Islands of Adventure. I waved hello and everything. I didn't want to bother them. And Alberto called me over and I shook his hand. I shook Paige's hand. I just said hello, basically, is all it was. No pictures, anything. Didn't want to break any sort of they were enjoying themselves. I didn't want to interrupt. It's kind of like they pretty much the correlation I have is for those of you that remember when I ran into Crazy Mary and Ray Rowe at Universal Studios Florida. So kind of the same situation. I'm more respectful. I don't necessarily want to go mark out for anybody. I just want to shake their hand and when I met Kevin Owens at Animal Kingdom. So I mean, yeah, it's the same situation. I'm not trying to get a picture, an autograph, or anything. I just want to shake their hand and thank them for their work. So I did, and I went amongst my day. And then I see that Monday where there is an investigation into a battery charge with Alberto because of an incident that happened. Now,
Uh-oh, what's happened? Uh-oh. I'm trying to work out what's going on, guys. I'm not hearing anything. I'm refreshing just in case. This is a bit awkward, isn't it, guys? I don't even know if this is getting out. Okay. I better have a quick look at YouTube to make sure that you guys can still hear, because I can't hear Owen at all. I'm guessing his mic's died, which just so happens to be very weird because then it means it's happening. Ooh. I'm just checking. All I can hear is myself. Ooh. So, I don't know whether this means we're cutting it short. Oh, waiting for people to join this video call. Right. So I'm going live as soon as I can. Or I guess we still are live anyway. I'll wait for Owen to get back in. So I guess I'm technically here. TMZ cut him off. Or Alberto. Or something. Some sort of conspiracy theory is going down, ladies and gentlemen. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, I've just seen the TMZ YouTube bit with the audio from said event and everything, and yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, they're supposed to be a blissfully happy couple, and it really doesn't sound like that. So I'm a little concerned for both parties in all essence. I'm keeping an eye on whether anything's coming. The confusing thing is I just heard a sound clip. I'm trying to work out what that sound clip was of. Was that Owen? I'm a bit confused. Wow, that's weird. So I guess I'm probably gonna stay here until I know what's going on. So if any of you guys want to ask questions in the chat, feel free. I know I've got a minute or so's delay or whatever. Just Owen hasn't messaged me or anything to say that the stuff isn't happening or that we're finished. So we'll hang around here until I get a message basically saying stop the call and get out of here. So I see Pedro and Go Sox Tim 8. That's even how I pronounce it properly. Feel free to pass it on. Well, that's good. They keep doing things on Amazon Prime Day that aren't existing. Brilliant. Have a quick look. I guess we're leaving it here then, because I don't see anybody in chat. Wow. That's, I guess, a bit of an anticlimax. I should probably send a message to Owen as well. I hope everything's all right because that's just got creepy, man. The topic stuff, and then he just died, and it's like, awkward. Please don't tell me he's still in the area, or she's in the area, and whatever, or TMZ's in the area. Jeez. So yeah, the ending went a bit skew. And Owen getting cut off might need roundabout in itself. But in essence, it doesn't, because it's been a long, well, I say longish day. I've probably been up for a fair few hours. My sleep pattern is out of whack. I don't know whether I'm doing this on purpose because I realised that next week is the start of G1. It may be, I don't know. So, yeah, your AJ content's coming this week.